What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today I want to do an update over my Dark Magician deck for you guys. So yes, of course, I'm using the brand new Fusion, Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, and also the reprints that came out for the legendary Dragon Decks that came out, of course, last Friday. And this build is using our brand new Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, of course, Timaeus as well. And also, I am actually using Apprentice Illusion Magician in this deck because, yeah, I don't have to sell a kidney now for a playset. You guys remember me talking about that in the last deck profile, because they were like $100 each or something for Apprentice Illusion Magician, and now since the reprint, a lot easier to get. So yeah, let's go on ahead and go through deck profile, and we'll talk about the changes that I made. Alright, so first off, of course, you gotta have 3 of Dark Magician. So, yeah, these are my favorite artworks that I'm going with. There's each one so you guys can see a little bit better. So, yeah, you gotta have your 3 Dark Magicians, obviously, because that's what this deck is about. You summon Dark Magician really easily, and I just went with my favorite artworks, basically, on that, too. So, and then one of the changes I made is that I'm actually using 2 of Magician of Dark Illusion. So, yeah, instead of using 3, I'm using 2 of these. Basically because it would kind of become a dead draw sometimes. You know, sometimes it kind of get in your way. So I feel like having 2 is actually a little bit better and a little less trouble. And if you don't know what Magician of Dark Illusion does, or what it, you know, what even it is, basically it's like having 2 more Dark Magicians in the deck and another way to bring out Dark Magicians. So yeah, I just changed that to 2 though instead of 3. Then, of course, after that, I am using 3 of Apprentice Illusion Magician. Yes, we can finally get this card, like I said, and not have to take out a loan or whatever. Because, yeah, this card's a lot easier to get now. It's in the Legendary Dragon Decks, and I'm so happy that they actually reprinted that. So, makes it a lot easier to get this card. And also, too, I'm using 3 of Magician's Rod. So yeah, both these cards help out the deck a lot. I mean, first off, like Magician's Rod, basically, it helps you search for your cards. That we can just normal summon it and search for your different Dark Magician cards. So obviously, that's good for you. Get whatever spell or trap, you know, like Eternal Soul, Magician's Navigation, Magical Circle, whatever. You have access to just about everything with that, so that's great. And also, of course, the reason you run 3 of Apprentice Illusion Magician is that, first off, with her first effect, you can special summon her by discarding a card from your hand. Then, whenever she is normal or special summon, you're able to add a Dark Magician from your deck to your hand. So having that searching effect for Dark Magician is really good, too, because with this deck, you want to get Dark Magician to your hand or graveyard as quickly as possible so you can bring it out with, like, Eternal Soul or Magician's Navigation. And then, not only that, she's even kind of like Blackwing Kalute, because she's able to power up a Dark Spellcaster monster by 2,000 attack. And yeah, I mean, having that power boost for all these different monsters they can target, of course, including Dark Magician, that's really good as well. Like I said, that's why I definitely want to have 3 of these in my last deck profile, but it was just so expensive. So now that this card's a lot cheaper, you definitely need to have 3 of them. I consider it a staple. Then, of course, for last row monsters, I'm using 1 of Maxi. Then I am using 1 of Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. And last but not least, I am using 2 of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. So yes, I'm actually using the Spellbook engine for this deck. We'll get more into it, of course, here in a little bit later when we go through the different spellbooks I'm using. But basically, from using this card, it's an easy to bring out monster, and also using the Spellbook engine with Spellbook of Knowledge, you're able to draw more cards. And it's a good draw engine for the deck, and it just fits in well with Dark Magicians anyway. I used it last time as well, and it brings a lot more to the deck because the more ways you can draw cards, the faster you get Dark Magician, Eternal Soul, and a Magical Circle, and it helps out a ton. So I definitely recommend the Spellbook engine. Like I said, we'll get a little bit more into it here in a second. And then also, Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer is just really good because, you know, being able to remove cards from the graveyard is nice and just has some good effects to it. So it's nice to have 1 of them in any Dark Magician build. And then also Maxi, draw cards. Like I've said so many times, gotta get that draw engine, and again, that's good for Dark Magician. Alright, now moving on to spell cards, I'm using 3 of Dark Magical Circle. Obviously, this card's amazing, but we'll talk more about that here in a second. And then, of course, 2 of Dark Magic Attack. So yeah, Dark Magical Circle. The reason you gotta run that is that when it's on your side of the field and you normal or special summon a Dark Magician, then you're able to banish a card on your opponent's side of the field. So with that effect, and you have Eternal Soul and Magician's Navigation and just all these different cards, even the new Fusion, because it counts as a Dark Magician, you have so many ways to get Dark Magician to your side of the field, you're going to at least be able to banish a card on their side of the field at least once per turn, and that includes even your opponent's turn. It's definitely one of the best cards to use, so you need 3 of those. And Dark Magic Attack is basically our Heavy Storm or our Harpy's Feather Duster, I guess, really, you know, because it doesn't destroy your side of the field. So yeah, it's great to have that. You're just about always going to have a Dark Magician on your side of the field anyway, so yeah, that's your spell and trap card destruction. Then after that, kind of going back to spellbooks, I'm using 2 of Spellbook of Secrets. Gotta have those. And then 2 of Spellbook of Knowledge. So like I said, I'm using the Spellbook engine on this. It's just really good because, spellcasters and spellcasters is the reason. So Spellbook of Secrets is good because it's a searcher for different spellbook cards that can help you search for prophecy or knowledge. And then, of course, too, Spellbook of Knowledge is the draw engine card. So you can discard even one of your spellbooks, or you can get rid of a spellcaster on your side of the field and draw 2 cards. So it's kind of like a Destiny draw, like I've said several times, and it helps out with this deck a ton because you're thinning down the deck using these cards, and you're drawing more cards because of them. Then, of course, for a little bit more of consistency and draw power, I am using 2 of Pot of Duality, and also 2 of Allure of Darkness. So yeah, Pot of Duality is good because, yeah, it keeps you from special summoning, but being able to look at the top 3 cards and choose one of them, that can definitely get the ball rolling for you. And also, like I said, you have Eternal Soul, Magician's Navigation, and cards like that, you can special summon your opponent's turn. So really, that's not too much of a negative for you to use Duality. Not only that, of course, Allure of Darkness, just about everything I have is Dark Monsters. I think the only one is the Spellbook. That's the only non-Dark Monster that I'm using, and I guess Maxi. But yeah, having that extra draw power is really good for this deck. Then, of course, for the last of the spell cards, I'm using 2 of the Eye of Timaeus. So yeah, we're actually using the Eye of Timaeus in this build, so we can actually go for fusions. Also, I am using 2 of Dark Magic Inheritance. So this card is really good too. Also reprinted in the Legendary Dragon decks. And not only that, I am using 2 of Illusion Magic. So yeah, all these are pretty self-explanatory. Eye of Timaeus, you have a Dark Magician on your side of the field, that's an instant fusion. That can be a Dark Paladin, that can be an Amulet Dragon, or of course that can be Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. So that's your fusion card. You don't need polymerization. You don't need like Buster Blader for Dark Paladin. I know a lot of people have been asking that. You don't. Timaeus covers all of that for you, and it's great. It's just a good extra card to have in the build and giving you access to some really good fusion monsters. Of course, Dark Magic Inheritance, I found 2 of these to be really good in this build because of the Spellbook engine. I'm getting a lot more spells to the graveyard, use that effect, being able to search for more Dark Magician cards, great. So that comes in handy. And Illusion Magic just good because you want Dark Magician to your hand, yet again. So being able to do that will definitely help you out, especially with like Magician Navigation and everything. So yeah, still just as useful as last time. Alright, now moving on to our trap cards, I'm using 3 of Magician Navigation. And then, of course, obviously, gotta have those 3 Eternal Souls. So yeah, those are all the trap cards that I'm running in this deck. Basically, they're both there to help you get out Dark Magician as quickly as possible. Magician Navigation helps you get Dark Magician from your hand, and of course, you also get an additional spellcaster, so that's really good. And also, it's still good in the graveyard to help you negate things. So, all around, great card for that. And Eternal Soul helps you by being able to special summon a Dark Magician, which can be, of course, in your graveyard, just easily special summon it. And then also you can search for, like, Dark Magic Attack, or 1,000 Outs. But, of course, I'm using Dark Magic Attack. So, either way, this is how you bring out your Dark Magician really easily. And, yeah, it helps out a ton. And, obviously, this is how you get it on the field without having to worry about anything. Because when you have Eternal Soul and Magical Circle, your combo's all set. Like, seriously, you're bringing out Dark Magician every turn, including your opponent's turn. You're banishing cards, and it's all good for you then. So that's like the perfect setup, basically, for that. Of course, even better when you're using Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Alright, so now moving on to the extra deck. Of course, first off, I am using 2 of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. So yes, this is our brand new fusion card that came out in the Legendary Dragon decks. This card is freaking amazing for Dark Magicians. Like, seriously, it is amazing. Because first off, it counts as a Dark Magician. So when you're actually using Timaeus and a Dark Magician to bring it out, which you can. I mean, all you need is a Dark Magician on your side of the field and Timaeus. There you go. You just special summon a Dark Magician. So if you haven't already used the effect of Dark Magical Circle, it will actually activate after this. Not only that, the reason I said this card makes the combo a lot better is because it protects your back row cards. So it will actually protect Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle. So when you have both those on your side of the field, you have a Dark Magician, you have Timaeus in your hand, you are all set. So it helps out a ton. It is such an amazing fusion monster that we gain from this, and that's what makes it worth actually using Timaeus now, because this card is a big game changer for Dark Magicians, and I can't hype it up enough. It's amazing. And of course, that's not the only fusion I'm running. I'm also using a Dark Paladin, which is still really great, and of course, Amulet Dragon. Dark Paladin's good because, like I said, you don't need Buster Blader. I don't know how many times I've seen this comment. You have Timaeus, Dark Magician, that's all. It counts as the Buster Blader. You don't need it. You don't need polymerization. So, in case people are wondering, it's still a very powerful fusion monster too. Going against something with dragons, even stronger. So, that's great. And of course, Amulet Dragon, I like that because all the spell cards I'm using this deck, and, other spell cards I'm going against, that my opponent is using, This card can get really powerful, especially with the spellbook engine and everything too. I am throwing a lot of spell cards in the graveyard, and I can really power up Amulet Dragon. Of course, even its effect afterwards to help me get a Dark Magician too. So most of the time I'm still going for Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, but if I want some power, gotta go with that Amulet Dragon. Then after that, of course, Xyz monsters. So I'm still using 2 of Ebon Illusion Magician, and then, of course, 1 of Ebon High Magician. So, yeah, of course, these are your Xyz Dark Magician cards. Ebon Illusion Magician still helps you bring out those Dark Magicians, and they're both still great choices for Xyz summoning. And then also, I'm using some generic, like rank 7 monsters, because, of course, Dark Magician is level 7. So, I am using 1 of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. I have my ultimate rare one. I think it looks awesome. Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac. Then also number 11 Big Eye. And then, after that, I'm using number 42, Galaxy Tomahawk. This was actually suggested by a lot of you guys when I did the Red Eyes app profile because of how it can make tokens. And that can actually mean a really easy-to-bring-out Firewall Dragon. I didn't really think about that, to be very honest. I don't know why. So, thank you for the suggestions, and it works really well in this deck, too. Of course, anything that can, go for rank 7s, it's great in because it really is an easy-to-bring-out Firewall Dragon. So, it actually works out a lot. And of course, Big Eye, take your opponent's monster, Dracosac, be really annoying. And then, same with really Flare Metal Dragon, too. So, all great options to bring out, too, depending on your situation. Then, of course, last but not least, we have our Link monsters. So, that means, first off, I have 1 of Link Spider. Then, after that, I have 1 of Proxy Dragon. After that, we have 1 of Decode Talker. And then, 1 of Firewall Dragon. So basically, pretty generic Link monsters. Of course, Link Spider's good because I have normal monsters being, Dark Magician, so it's good to have, like, that easy-to-go-for Link monster. Of course, it can't revive Dark Magician. I mean, I know someone asked about that before. I use it just because it's an easy-to-bring-out Link monster, so it can help me get an extra zone and everything, too. And, yeah, it can actually come in handy for that reason. I wish it revived Dark Magician, though. That would be amazing if that happened. Then, of course, Proxy Dragon, Decode Talker, and Firewall Dragon are just pretty much good generic Link monsters to have. And Firewall Dragon is easy to bring out, too, because of number 42. So that's the reason I run them. I still mainly go for like my fusions and Xyz, but all these Link monsters definitely come in handy too. So yep, there you go. That is my update for my Dark Magician deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Of course, like I said, with the new support from the legendary Dragon decks, it is definitely stronger than it was and a lot more fun to play. So I think that's awesome, and I recommend it to everyone. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button if you did. I am working on a new Cyber Dragon build as well as an Odd Eyes build too. Those will probably be later on next week. And if I upload this on Sunday, which like I'm thinking it'll be later on this week, I guess technically. So I hope you guys are looking forward to those, and I will be using the new cards from Legendary Dragon Decks for that as well. And I still plan on doing an deck profile for a lot of other things too, like Dragunities, Pendulum Magicians, a lot of other things. I've seen a lot of requests, including Blue Eyes, because we're basically having deck profiles for Red Eyes, Dark Magician, and Blue Eyes. So hope you guys are looking forward to all that. Of course, we're working on so many different things, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, and of course I will catch you guys later. See ya.